Alright, we're here with Ygra, Eater of All, 5 minutes 6/6. Ward, sacrifice of food. Basically hexproof, I know. However, other creatures are food artifacts in addition to their other types, so it's basically ward, sacrifice a creature, kind of like Vein Ripper is. Not food. Most people don't have just food laying around all the time, so I mean, maybe in the mirror or something, but for the most part, it's going to be ward sack a creature because your creature's a food. Whenever a food is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put 2 counters on it. So a food on your side, or any creature, or a food on your opponent's side, which are all their creatures, and then this just gets bigger and bigger. What's very notable is you can kill things in response to the ward trigger, and then your opponent basically loses. So if you play this, and then your opponent goes to cast a removal spell in response to the removal spell, you cast a removal spell on the creature they were intending to sacrifice. Then their removal spell has no target, and they're screwed. This doesn't work if they have a bunch of targets, right? But that is still really, really good. It's really good. So I feel like this on its own is strong enough to actually kill people, especially how it grows pretty quickly, so I'm not running a boatload of creatures. Karn is in here just because all of your opponent's creatures are now artifacts. So if they have any abilities, they just don't have abilities now, right? Activated abilities. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's actually a lot of cards in the game, or excuse me, a lot of creatures in the game that actually don't care about Karn, like a lot. But I'm willing to try it. It also hoses mana rocks, right? It also does what Karn does anyways, but it also, has that little added bonus of sort of turning off certain creatures, which is kind of cool. I have some food synergies in here. Click, click, click. There's some food. I don't know what that means. Someone said something weird in chat. There's some food things in here, but for the most part, not really. The Cauldron Familiar is kind of cool. I know there's like a combo now, at least in Pioneer, where you have 2 of these and you just loop them because they can sack each other because they're now food, and then you just kill your opponent with 2 Cauldron Familiars. But you obviously can't do that in singleton formats, and it would be insanely inconsistent anyways because you're 100 cards. But I don't know. It seems kind of cool. It's on theme. This is a new card. I played it in the draft I did terrible with, and I guess it works here, right? Anytime a food is sacrificed, it just works. I can sacrifice my own creatures. I can sack them to Witch's Oven. I can sack them to Village Rites and stuff. So I think this can actually trigger, but this could also literally just be like Sign in Blood. Okay, I'd get lost thinking about every card this could be, but there's a lot. I mean, shoot, it could be Thoughtseize, really. It's just a new card. It's on theme. It's in the new set, or I'm just going to try it. This makes food, it attacks mills, and then you can return things. Anything that cares about actual food and not just creatures being food is pretty interesting. Savvy Hunter. Just food stuff. Just food stuff. I've never played with the Shire, but if ever it was going to work, this is probably the place for it to work. I think I may have played it when I played Eleanor when this set came out. I think this is actually the first commander of this set I played. Boy, was it terrible. Oh my goodness, was it terrible. But if all my creatures are also food, maybe this actually does cast Rampant Growth once or twice. It's still probably one of the worst cards in my deck, but it's a new card. No, it's not. Well, it's a new card that has a deck, so we're trying it there. So we have a ton of removal, obviously. Your naturalizes count as removal because all your creatures, all your opponent's creatures are now artifacts. So this should kill your opponent's creatures, right? Wilt can actually kill your opponent's creatures. I like the idea of that. Canker Bloom, kill your opponent's creatures. There's an endless degree of 2-mana removal spells. I don't have as much ramp as I feel as though I should, but I'm willing to try not running a bunch of ramp because I really do like my 2, 3, 4 slots where I don't feel like I have to take that turn to actually cast a ramp spell. I am doing things in the intermediate before this enters that are pretty good. So, I mean, you are just like black-green, and that's usually just pretty solid for, like, not rapidly ramping into anything. I did craft Force of Vigor for this deck. This can just kill 2 creatures. So, you know, it can do it for free as well, out of nowhere. I think the last thing your opponent's going to anticipate is a 0-mana double removal spell out of a black-green deck in response to a ward trigger. So, Force of Vigor seems nuts to me. It also is just a solid card in general, and, you know, moving forward, now that I own it, I could see myself putting it in more green decks. And yeah, that's about it. Black-green removal with this food package, because food actually matters for once. So, like, comment, subscribe. Let's see what happens. Alright, well, our first opponent is the Enchantment deck, which this might be one of the most nightmare scenarios for them, but it also can be solid if I don't get going fast enough. This is a weird keep, but Davriel is pretty good. And this deck usually isn't that fast. This deck also doesn't really operate too well without Sanctum of All. Okay. They didn't have a Mana Dork, which is why I liked this, keeping this as well. I don't know if I would kill a Mana Dork right now. Okay, this is just green. What's going on here? Okay, there's another color. I was getting scared. I don't have double black, unfortunate. I can go find it. I'd rather just save this. There's no way I don't just play this. Can this return... Okay, it can return lands. Alright, just making sure. They're reading the farmer. If they don't kill it, my Fanatic does actually tap for 4 right now. Oh yeah, I could just straight up go into my Commander because of the Fanatic. Fanatic is just disgusting, huh? Yeah, alright. I forgot. Fnatic would just tap for 4. Yeah, this deck doesn't really interact with you too much. It just sort of tries to cast enchantments. They sure are not, they weren't, like, color screwed, that was for sure. Alright, I don't like playing against this commander. It's usually miserable. I don't think I'm keeping this. This is weird. I guess. It's really weird, though. I play birds first. See if we have the old bolt the birds. Do we have the bolt the birds spiel? No, we will later, I guess. That was a funny draw. Does that let me cast my commander right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my goodness, it does. That is insane. Do I? I mean, why do I not? Surely this doesn't backfire horribly, and my opponent has a perfect 2-mana removal spell, and I lose the game. Look at that. There's no way I don't kill this, right? I think my opponent has much more efficient inevitability than I do, because they make tokens, and I don't really deal with tokens. So that's a problem. I will play this and probably have to assemble a team for any land. Even if it dies, probably assemble a team for any land. Okay, it didn't die. They have a creature. I'd rather them not have a creature when I cast my commander, so I'm just going to go ahead and not cast my commander. Play this? Do I cast it? Probably not, right? No, I don't think so. Oh, I could have swung. I'm sorry, I could have swung. I forgot. This card has text on it. I could have swung. So I'm doing it like this so I can deal with my... Sweet. Okay. My opponent maybe... Let's see. What was my opponent going to do? We actually had a phenomenal turn next turn, just playing this. I don't even have to sack anything. I could just simply kill the Nissa, right? It goes up to 5. Good old mono white having all the great answers, except when I play it, and then it's terrible. It's terrible. Except that one deck. My Redain list was actually really, really good. But everything else has been terrible. Okay, so this commander just does nothing but try to ultimate a Johnny really quickly. So if Casualties of War is good enough, we win. If it isn't, we lose. Yay. I will play more cards. And I will... I don't even know if I have to attack. Just have to kill a Johnny once, and then the game kind of just ends, really, so... They didn't have a mana dork either, that's kind of crazy. I feel like you just always mulligan for a mana dork. Makes me think that maybe they're not the a Johnny or bust strategy. Okay, opponent is now not here. Maybe my opponent doesn't want to play against Elvish Mystic. And they got upset. It's not like my turn 2 was really bad. So, okay, no, they're back. They're just getting the pizza at the door. Okay, am I interested in killing that? I think I am. Am I, though? Yep. Don't need that. End step, if you sack a food, so if I sack a food here, I can draw a card, that's kind of cool. This card might actually do something. Everybody deals combat proliferate, that's very annoying. So if I cast this, what does my opponent do? I really wish, yeah, if I had a mana to sack this food, I would. I would cast it here. Sure. They played that before their commander. Sure. Man, it feels so bad to, like, pitch this to this, but, like... Oh, wait, what's this? Oh! Oh! The dream? No way. The dream? Ew. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yep. Look at that. This is the best this card's ever going to be, is pitching the Force of Vigor. Oh, sweeper or bust, opponent. Sweeper or bust. Didn't think so. That's so messed up. Oh, man, we did the thing, dude. Oh, that's so great. What does this do? Is this the one that... Yep. Alright, well, I have Utopia Sprawl, so I don't care about anything else. Oh, I have that now, too. Overgrown Tomb in name black? Or green? Probably black. Yeah. I really wish I... Well, I can Maelstrom Pulse. I suppose I will. It's a pretty good idea. Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold on a second. That is just slightly better here. Alright. Then play that. So next turn I have this. Alright, doing pretty well here. What does this even do? Return target artifact you control, blah blah blah. Alright, sure. I will literally kill anything. Well, I've been playing a black-green removal deck, opponent. With a lot of ways to deal with artifacts, actually, not just removal spells. So this is actually really nice. Let's play this. You know what? I'll play things I don't miss getting countered first. Okay, they appear to not have a counter spell. Let's play this. Still fine, though. Not too upset with not casting the Palantir. Alright, I don't have a lot of answers to that, but it can do a good job at just annihilating my opponent for me. Let's play this, let's play this, and then I can play this. Oh, wait, slow down. This. And there's no reason not to play this, so I guess I will. And yeah, that's it. So there's not a lot of cards in blue-red at this point that do anything. It's like River's Rebuke, Cyclonic Rift, but counterspells are not really gonna do it here. Not really, at least. The One Ring is one of their better cards, though. Suppose the protection didn't do anything, though. Alright, if they're just committing to this, it's an absolute nightmare for my opponent. Complete nightmare scenario. Yep. Good luck. I can sack... Let's see, I can sack this. And then I can sack my bird. Green. Actually, there's no... Alright, I'll just tap this, that's fine. And then do this here. It's just more damage. I don't think I can kill them. No, I can't kill them, so I'll stop there. That's fine. I don't need the Birds of Paradise for any reason, obviously, so... This is the second time my opponent has said good game, and has not conceded yet. The One Ring will probably kill them at this point anyways, even if they had, like, River's Rebuke. Oh, look, it's River's Rebuke. Well, like I said, this is how blue gets back into the game. Of course. Even though they say good game. So... Here, there... Green or black? I guess green. Play... This... This... And I suppose that's it, because that's all I can cast. Deadly Dispute is actually pretty good here, so I'll take that. They can't mill anymore. I guess they also can't tap the One Ring? Do they have a way to deal with their One Ring? I don't think they can win in 4 turns. Or I guess it would be 3 turns. Cauldron Familiar can also harass the life total with other foods that I may or may not put into play. I didn't draw land. Okay, let's see if I can't find something disgusting here. Karn doesn't really shut down that much. And Force of Vigor is destroy, not exile. Karn is still probably the right thing. This is an artifact deck, right? Like, how do I not take Karn here? How do I not take Karn here? And then activate Palantir as a creature? And then do 1 additional damage this way? Alright, this actually is pretty fine here. No, and probably not. I mean, I don't think I need a land anyways at this point. So they need to win very, very, very quickly here. And I don't know what that looks like. So this makes Karn structs as you cast artifacts. So if I can never swing again, you're still very close to just dying. Yeah, they can't move the Nettle Cyst. I can kill the Karnstruct. I can kill the Karnstruct, and then I can kill this. Okay, let's kill the... Make a food token, so the Cauldron Familiar has something to kill my opponent with. Plus on... Oh, you can't target the token, I see. What happens if I plus this? It becomes a 3/3, so that doesn't really work. I guess I'll just get rid of Mox Amber. And then... If Cauldron Familiar dies in combat, I can recur it with the food token. So if they block it, they go to... They stay at 2, but the ring kills them. Alright, dealing with... They had Cyclonic Rift. Wow. So I sack the Cauldron Familiar anyways. Nice. Look at that. Oh, do we have a way to bounce the ring? War of Invention for some kind of card that deals with the One Ring. I just don't know what that card is. There's no recourse. Okay, no recourse. I don't have anything. I don't know what this card is, but my opponent is aware of some kind of avenue out of this. And it's copying the One Ring. Okay, so there's no bird encounter. This buys them a turn. They could have tapped it first to draw. That's interesting. Oh, wait, never mind. Never mind, that doesn't work. Why does that not work? Why did they still die? Okay. So, apparently with the One Ring, no matter what you do, it just kills you. Like, the trigger goes on the stack for a set amount. So far, this Overseer has been terrible, and I have drawn it a lot. So I know it's terrible. Same with Eleanor. I think the best it's ever been is pitching the Force of Vigor, which is no surprise. Whoops, I just took out Davriel instead, because I have finger dyslexia. A massive scary threat would be interesting, like Emrakul. It's possible. Ramp spells like Force of... or Flare and Cultivate are fine. Yeah, alright. Okay. I think at this point, if you are green, you can do the 1 into 3. Way more consistent than like the 2 into 4 for ramp. So we can run Cultivate and Flare. Alright, red doesn't do too good of a job at outscaling me, quote-unquote, but I guess that's neither here nor there. No turn 1 anything unless I play Cavernous Souls on Citizen, and I think I'm going to... I don't have green mana next turn if I do that, so maybe I'm not doing that. Alright, I'm just going to play my Forest. I have Utopia's Sprawl. Let's not try to get awkward about it. I will name Shaman. And not be upset if they do something about that. And then put this on black. Alright, Deathrite Shaman, you're up. Do something. That's not what I meant. This is really awkward. So Koth goes from 4 to 1 if it kills something, or 4 to 6. I assume they are going to go to 4 to 6. As killing one of these is not doing anything. Or they can just kill both. That works too. I didn't make a food, so whoopsie daisies. Whoopsie daisies indeed. Should have made a food first. No big deal though, it's not that relevant, honestly. If I, like, missed a food. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 can almost actually play this, and this is actually very good here, so... I would like to see them play their commander. Well, they didn't play their commander first. They showed me a mountain, so now if they play it in plus, I know that there's like I have an extra card knowledge. Yeah, this is a missequence. You should not show me the mountain. Just play the one you tutor for. It's not that big of a deal, but like it's just funny. Alright, well, this is just categorically better than... Wait, what's the enchantment in play? Okay, it's Utopia's Sprawl. Planeswalker, land, artifact. So, boom, boom. I win? No, they didn't concede. Okay. Most people concede at that. I commend you. I guess it isn't over. I don't really have a hand. Like, I have no cards. But this is usually pretty spine-snapping. So, we'll see. Gamble. Oh, alright. Gamble. Nice, nice. What are we gambling? What are we gambling? It's got to be 3 or less. I assume it was not the Forge, but maybe it was. Maybe it was. Wait, what does this do? 4 damage, dealt this way, blah, blah, blah. Alright, just make sure it's not like an act of treason that I sacked it for no reason. Alright, so you need a creature to target this. And I say to you, good luck. Alright, they have Stone Cold Nothing. I will do this. Gaining life is also pretty useful. This was phenomenal. I'm actually going to do this, though. I'm going to do this. Less phenomenal. I'll still cast it. It lets me sack it. Like, it's a food to sacrifice to this, if that matters. I guess if I sacked it right then and there, would that have changed the clock? No, it's still 1 off. It would have been lethal if I found another creature, though, and pretty likely, so I guess I could have 2-turned him. Sack a creature and then sack here. Okay. This doesn't just win, right? I don't think this just wins. Let's get rid of our... wait, we don't sacrifice this because the ward trigger must be paid first. And... sure. That was... yeah, that was very good. What else does this do? I'm kind of certain that this, does the thing still. I'm going to sacrifice this. I assume this actually does 37, even if it is dead, so... okay. Wow, that's actually unbelievable. That's completely unbelievable that my opponent won this game. That's nuts. Alright, whatever. That's wild. I really thought I just completely had it, but... Hearthstone cards that don't exist on paper. I guess I forget to play around them too much. That's completely nuts. Good on them. That's wild. I can't believe I lost that. That is so disgusting. That is so disgusting. The old casual 6-mana ramp more than any other thing possible. Black. I'm actually going to play Cultivate instead of Phyrexian Arena here. Actually... I'd like to get my commander going, especially against a mono blue deck. I think it is a really good idea to do that, so I will. It could just kill them as a 6/6 because it's mono blue. Well, I said that about the mono red deck, but apparently not. They can just do 38 damage out of nowhere. Surely that won't be the case this time. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna swing. I guess I'll leave up Archdruid's Charm. Can I? Hold on. Let's all slow down here. I cannot. Triple green. I cannot do that if I cast that. So cast this and leave it up. I'm just leaving up Archdruid's Charm here. There's no way I'm not doing that. All right. What do you got? I feel like there's something here on the end step. There was not anything on the end step. Nuts. What is this? Return a wizard you control to its hand. Is this a wizard? No. Braided net. Net counters. Remove a net counter. Tap target. Okay. My commander has ward. I will attempt to use this. suppose I'll use it in a way that doesn't make me feel too bad. Let's get rid of the commander or the braided net. I'm going to get rid of the commander. I think that makes the most sense here. They're playing like they have interaction, so I'm going to respect it in a way that makes sense to me. Okay. Kind of wish I had any other creature, but this is not too bad, I guess. Kind of nervous here, but the braided net isn't a big deal. The backside kind of is, but I don't know. Yep, sure. They can cast their commander again. It isn't exactly doing all that much. Any permanent on the battlefield except it's an artifact. Okay, so they probably copy my commander. And I don't do too good of a job at developing food as it stands to prevent that from being a problem. Not sure what I can draw. That was a very good draw, but it's not good enough on its own. Is it, though? Actually, yes, it is. Because now they can't block. So this actually does work. Because I sack a food if they go to block. So, swing. I can make this a... How close to lethal is it? Not close enough. Alright. Sure. Oh, no! They both get bigger! Oh my goodness. I'm dumb. I completely forgot that's how that would work. Why wouldn't it? Right. That is a symmetrical effect. Alright. That was probably the worst thing I could have possibly have done, by the way. It was unyieldingly terrible that I just did what I did, because I also made it so I can't cast my commander, which is completely bad. That is really bad. So I can just get Karn, right? Does that matter? I think Karn is my best bet, right? Like, given what I'm seeing. Man, sacking that food was so bad. It was so bad, I can't even cast this. It was unbelievably bad that I did that. Wow. I couldn't have made a worse decision. Literally couldn't have made a worse decision. Sacking the goose, excuse me, would have been a better decision. That is insane. Now I gotta really hope they don't have a counterspell. And I kind of feel like they do. This is an excellent bait for a counterspell, though. Okay, nope. Alright, that actually resolved. I will cast this. Plus this first. There's nothing to really plus it on. I could plus it here, but that doesn't feel like it makes... There's no merit in that. Yeah, there's no merit in that. I'll just plus it. Alright, opponent. It's up to you to deal with it. All of your stuff is off. I still feel like they have some kind of castable card that is... I just don't know what it is. Liliana is odd, but probably better than the average draw. They'll probably just mill it anyways, though. Let's be real. Wow, they didn't. Okay. I think Liliana is good enough. Be it barely good enough. Okay. Hopefully Karn just shuts them down forever. Get that vibe here, but who knows. I really anticipate interaction, and I'm surprised I'm not seeing it. I'm not even convinced I'm going to deal with the... like, why deal with the reality chip? I'm not even convinced I have to do that, so... Shoot, I don't even have to deal with, Okay, they had some kind of flash thing there. I don't have to do anything, actually. Okay, this shuts down Karn's activated ability. Fair enough. Fine. Just play this. Their creatures are food, but again, they can't activate food because it's an artifact with Karn. Yeah, you can't, wait. This loses all text with the Tidebinder? I thought it just made it so you couldn't activate its abilities. Wow. Okay, never mind. My opponent pitched... I must be dead, right? Like, why would you ever pitch this? Am I just dead now? How on earth do you pitch your best card ever? Okay. I must be dead. Wow, I did not know this just completely removed. Loses all abilities. Wow, that's nuts. That's just so nuts. Alright, well, I did not anticipate that. I really just didn't respect Tidebinder. Still kind of confused they got rid of River's Rebuke. Maybe they felt like it doesn't actually solve the problem. Maybe that was the logic. I don't know. Oh boy. Here we go. Okay, I didn't expect to untap. Is it Cyclonic Rift, or what's going on here? You can't target my creature, because you have to activate Ward when you do that. Remove... Okay. What did it just do? Did it fizzle? Did it target itself? It must have targeted itself. Oh, it targeted my Liliana, excuse me. Okay, fair enough. I got you. Opponent's doing a good job at not dying. But I can force a block here, which is really good. Unless, yeah, I can force a block. Okay. Alright, opponent's playing wise beyond their years right now. I can appreciate that. They're aware of what they need to do in a finicky situation like this, which is... Oh, come on, it creates a creature? Why does it have to create a creature? No, I really didn't want to see that. Oh, that's so bad. That's so bad for me. Oh, that's just so bad. I'm probably just dead now. Yep. I just needed that to not be a reality. This 6/6 doesn't actually, like, do anything, but... Might as well. I can't believe they just randomly made a token. If I didn't cast a spell, they wouldn't have made a token, but... I mean, how do I ever respect that? That's kind of impossible. That's just so bad. Yep. Alright. I mean, both of these are phenomenal, so I guess I'll keep them, but I don't expect them to, matter much, really? Wait a minute. Hold on. I can actually kill this. Hold on. Okay. This is actually phenomenal. I have the mana for it, right? Am I tripping? I'm not tripping. Alright. And this is uncounterable. It's uncounterable. Never mind, this is actually really good, because they let me draw. This is a crazy game. Crazy game so far. Because they have, like, Odawara or something? No? Alright. So we're back to Karn removing all text. Which was my idea there. Wow. Yep. They had a way to get around Karn, and they, it wasn't enough. We got to get back around it. My opponent played very well, and they shut down Liliana so I couldn't minus. I didn't know this card could do that. That's kind of cool. Yeah, we just shut them down. The discarding of River's Rebuke is kind of the only thing that doesn't make any sense to me. I know it doesn't win them the game, and it's like their whole turn to do it. Maybe the argument is if they do cast it, I just simply... Okay, yeah, Tidebinder would be shut down again, because I could recast Karn, right? So this actually wouldn't shut it down anymore if they River's Rebuked, is the argument. But if they did, I guess I am casting River's Rebuke, excuse me. If they cast River's Rebuke, I cast Karn, and I can also cast Liliana minus. But what they could do... I think they could have activated Guardian Idol in response to me casting Karn. So when I then cast Liliana's Edict, they have the Guardian Idol to sack. So they would still have a card for Reality Chip, but that does still leave Karn in play. So, yeah, this is pretty rough for my opponent. That was pretty rough. It was a good thing I saw that Abrupt Decay. I almost didn't stack it right. I almost didn't. I'm not going to lie. I almost did not stack that correctly. Wow. Alright. Well, I have the mana dork, but I'm on the draw. Who cares? I'm not going to cast Force of Vigor on nothing. That would be weird. Pantlaza is a problem, though. is a problem because it makes a lot of creatures, and I don't do too well against said bajillion creatures. Alright, send the squirrel. Maybe I should run this card too. It is technically a food for me and stuff. I don't know, every time I see this against me, I'm like, man, I wish I had it. I don't know, it's not that amazing. It's not that amazing. Alright, let's cast Davriel, because it's really good, and for no other reason. Please give me a good deal. It's been too long, please. Ugh. This is interesting. Oh my goodness. Like these deals, dude, I swear. The game is just trying to make my deals terrible. I've had such bad luck with Davriel for quite a while. At least they can't swing at it immediately. I can get rid of both creatures with force after this resolves, which is really interesting. I don't know what I pitch, though. Probably the Liberator? Trail of... No, probably the Trail. I guess it all depends on what my opponent randomly just cascades into. Will decide the fate of my universe. Lightning Bolt, so there goes Davriel. Not really that big of a deal. Kind of just made the game weird for both of us. But it's not... I mean, I'm fine with that, right? It could have been categorically worse. Okay. Wait, why can I not cast... It has to be not your turn, excuse me. Alright. They're not going to block. There's no way on earth they're going to block. And I can Force of Vigor in response to anything, so I guess I will. This has to enter, right? If they flicker it with Ephemerate, I probably just concede. So hopefully they just, like, play a 5-drop or a 6-drop and have no floating mana. They're incentivized to, because Pantlaza exists, and I'm tapped out, so they're not really... There's nothing on my opponent's radar, right? Other than the turn 1 delay that I had holding priority. They might wonder what that would be. Although there were no artifacts when that happened, so... That is... fine. Okay. Didn't expect that. What are they showing me? Enters 3 damage to an opponent and a creature. Pretty innocent for a 6-drop, honestly. It's like a primeval... or a sun... Jeez. Any Titan. Any Titan but the red one. Please. Alright. Well, I'm just not going to cast it, then. I suppose I'll run this out. I can tap this, because it's not going to attack. Can this swing now? You need how many lands? 7? It cannot, unless they have some kind of rampant growth or something. Harrow or something like that. Alright, I'll run this out. And I suppose I can also run Trail of Crumbs out. Do I want to? Sure. Seems interesting enough. I haven't played it yet, so... Whenever you sacrifice a food, you pay 1 to look at stuff with things. This is 13. It's not lethal. I am kind of fine with commit. They didn't tap all their mana, so I'm not interested in trying to do something crazy and kill them in this turn cycle. But I guess I can if they don't do anything at all, but it is kind of risky. Other squirrel you control, so sacking it there doesn't do anything. Alright. Man, I'm so... you know what? I'm convinced they have something. I really am. I'm not going to get trapped. I'm going to let them go to 2. I know I could have pushed for lethal. I'm going to let them go to 2. I have a good spot here with this and this. Like, it's on my opponent to get out of this somehow. I guess Farewell would annihilate me? I haven't seen a Farewell yet. It's been 90 minutes. I'm overdue. I'm overdue for a Farewell. That's a dinosaur. Okay, so we do this. Boop, boop. And then I have Outland to kill Kagla, so it doesn't do anything. Alright, this should just work. My commander's also too large for this to do anything anyways. And it can no longer target it. I guess no, I could not have waited, because then they would have gotten a Discover trigger. I could not have waited. But I could have surprised them with the removal and then the ward trigger, so this wouldn't kill it. But that doesn't matter. That wouldn't matter, yeah. They're also... Yeah, they're just dead to it. It doesn't matter. Alright, we took out the Gitrog and some other jank, food jank, for more ramp on turn 3 and Scute Swarm. Oh, look, all 3 cards are right next to each other. Look at that. So I can make food and also ramp and not feel too bad. Yeah, that's fine. Saruman. Oh boy. Saruman played with Sun Tzu. We're playing against Sun Tzu. Saruman of many colors, as in 3. So, not doing too good of a job at dealing with it. Maybe that is a symmetrical clause, though. I don't know. No scam Liliana. I don't know. This is probably a nightmare game. This is probably an absolute nightmare. I'm not too worried about this. My commander entering play is not something I really expect it to be a thing anyways, so this doesn't really bother me. I can technically deal with it as well at any point. Oh boy. Yeah, my opponent's going to have an absolute field day. There's a chance I just don't get to cast a spell. Like, there's a world where I just don't get to play Magic here. And I will commit... I'm going to go get Overgrown Tomb just to have green taken away here. But like I said, there's probably no shot my spells actually do anything. Like, I'm just not able to play Magic against this. Honestly, this resolving isn't even a big deal anyways. They could just not care. Okay, that might be the case. Maybe they could have not had anything as well, but more likely they just don't care. I don't know. I can't imagine this makes, you know, goes the distance anyways. If they're banking on their commander doing something, I do have an edict. If they're maybe not respecting it. I mean, this is a 6-mana card, so... I haven't seen a Mana Rock yet. A 6-mana Esper card is pretty tough. Your deck has to be strong because it doesn't show up for a while. Sure, yep. Abrupt Decay is... meh. I'm actually going to play this. I do need another green. Nykthos is not that amazing. I do need lands, though. Maybe Journey to Eternity is extremely unrealistic. I'm just going to get rid of that one, I guess. It does give me unrealistic vibes. What did they pitch? Gift of Estates. Okay. That's weird. Nope, that's not good. Nope, what do you know? Even if the ultimate happens, it still doesn't win me the game. It still just doesn't win me the game. Mm-hmm. Yep, you got it. I will see if I can't bait out a... Let's go to end step, I think. This is a pretty good time to cast this. It's not really going to get any better. I would love for a counterspell to get in the way here. Wow, no counterspell, or if there is one, they didn't want to cast it. Interesting. I suppose Nykthos is better than Forest. Do I even care about Abrupt Decay? I don't know. Do I? I would love them to, like, kill my commander right now and then not do anything else but cast their commander. That seems like a cool scenario. I didn't expect to ever actually get to cast this, so I guess I'll force the issue here. It's not like it's doing anything else. Tragic. The curse could have... They could have just countered the force and then kept the curse, so that was weird. And then I couldn't cast this, so... They have to make a move on Liliana right now. Looks like digging for it. Hopefully it's not a random haste creature that leaving up Abrupt Decay would have been good, but... There are a lot of cards that they can have. I don't think they played a land yet. Which means Liliana gets to take out 3 instead of 2? Okay. Do I do it? Do I do it? I feel like it is very good to do that, so how do I not do that, right? Set my opponent back 3 lands is really good. Wow. They just wanted to see if I was going to commit to it, and I did. So the only card I resolved won me that game. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I did resolve a Force of Vigor. I did. I don't know how useful it was. They did answer my commander off the curse. I feel like countering the Force of Vigor was better than countering my actual commander, but maybe not. I don't know. Okay, Captain Ripley, third spell each turn, put a counter on this, then it deals damage. So it likes to play a bunch of zeros and ones. There's not many zeros, though. Fatal Push is interesting, however the rest of the hand is not. So, rip. Okay, this is slightly better. I have not cast this yet. I kind of think getting rid of Dig Up is the right play, so I will. Okay. I can afford to win on a mull here. I think that's possible. This deck is extremely linear. Extremely linear. Opponent's thinking if they want to cast Shadow of Doubt or not. Instead of that, whatever 1 mana generic burn spell. This is good, but I am susceptible of dying to this. So I guess I won't commit to it. It can quite literally kill me. Okay, Cankerbloom will probably just die, and even if it doesn't, I'm actually going to cast it, because my opponent can't cast their commander and do things next turn, so this is fine. If they commit a spell to it, like, how am I upset? Yeah, this is excellent, right? Like, I'm never upset with that. Never upset with that. So, Abrupt Decay is better than losing life, but I don't know. Abrupt Decay is more universal than this, maybe? That might not be true against this deck specifically. Alright, I'll commit this card. But either way, they're probably both going to wind up dealing with this commander anyways, let's be real. I would love Urgent Necropsy to do something. I'm not going to cast the Binding, just going to pass. Artifact, Creature, Enchantment, Planeswalker, alright. Wow, they don't cast their commander. Opponent, toxic. Toxic. Alright, if I cast mine, they're never killing it. However, their commander is still a little spooky. But I don't actually feel like I want to do a draw-go thing against what my opponent's doing, so I'll just put this in play. I wish it itself was a food. Well, maybe I don't wish that, actually. Alright, so I can't die on 1 mana here. Which is why I cast my commander. Otherwise, I probably would try to do something about this. But yeah, they can't kill me, so this is fine. Is this what I want to do? Yep. Their commander having haste is kind of scary, but again, it costs more mana than they have, and how am I not used to swinging, right? Like, in what world do I not attack? Especially after, like what am I scared of here? My opponent really needs their commander in play, right? Let's get that. Let's play this. And I could just discard Karn to this, because I don't want to lose life if I don't have to. I think that makes sense, right? Karn's not going to do anything. Just going to put him on a 2-turn clock. Yep. Yep, like I said, this commander doesn't do anything unless it's in play for the most part. Oh, look, they have a fetch land. Let's not pillage the bog. Or really do anything, actually, because they don't fetch this turn cycle. Which I guess I can live with. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. I would love to blow that up. But I can't. So, Davriel or Liliana? Probably just the more expensive one. Please exile the land, thank you. But there's a chance, just like before, Davriel doesn't do anything. Okay, the discount is good. And, yep. Alright, it did something. Look at that. Land? No. Yeah. And then you can have a random card, because I want my whole hand here. I will just cash this in, assuming it won't live another turn anyways. Whenever I draw a card... Sure. And sure. So, Liliana and... Let's see, I have 2 cards. Artifact, creature, enchantment. No, that's not exciting. Okay, let's see what this finds. A land would be ideal, but Cavernous Souls is actually really good here, right? Yeah. I will just play it as well. I don't want to hold on to it and get it, schmeed it. And get rid of Bitter Triumph here, right? Yeah. Nicol Bolas is a problem, though. And there's no reason to attack. My opponent got a Phyrexian Tower from me, sure. Boy, that's a lot of mana rocks. So... now what? I feel like my hand is going to get hit by this, so I might as well just pitch anything. It just doesn't matter. I won't attack because there's maybe exiling a land does something randomly at some point here. I don't know. I don't think 1 damage matters. I really don't. They have no creatures, so my commander basically has hexproof. This kills the Deathrite Shaman. I can minus this. I guess I can start here, though, and see what happens. I don't know. They only have 1 card left. It needs to be pretty solid right now. Looks like it's castable. Okay. That sucks. They can target... oh, no, I guess they can't. Alright, yeah. Never mind. It's like, maybe they can target... yeah, that just doesn't work. Fair enough. Okay, so... we do this. So an artifact would be this. Creature is this. And there's no enchantment, right? No. And not my planeswalker. And I'm not really interested in... yeah, I was about to say, I'm not really interested in minusing the hostage taker. I think I'm just going to swing. Yeah, look at that. We just dwindled them down and beat them up. Okay, so this was really, really good. However, there's one major issue that I bumped into, and that is whenever your opponents have, like, any kind of token generator, you basically lose, or you're sort of stonewalled until you deal with it. It's not too difficult to deal with it. You have a lot of removal, and a lot of it is also naturalizes, which is a little unique and pretty good, because now you're not just hitting creatures with some of your stuff. It hits artifacts and enchantments, and that's very, very good. But sometimes your opponent just has Ocelote's Pride on turn 1, and then you lose the game because they just sack one of their 25 1/1s that they've generated off of their 1-mana Scute Swarm, and then you just lose. So sometimes that happens, but for the most part, it did not happen. My opponents had a better opportunity or a better chance at winning, it seemed, at just completely preventing Ygra from entering play, as opposed to dealing with it once it resolved. Kind of just like Sauron, right? Because it basically has hexproof, but it also doesn't have hexproof. Your opponent can just have creatures, and they can have more creatures than you have removal. And then you're just not doing anything, even if it doesn't have, like your opponent doesn't have a bunch of tokens. So that was a little bit of an issue. However, everything else it was doing was kind of really nice. I liked the strategy. I didn't feel like I needed to play big giant Eldrazi, or really anything that costs 6 and up. I mean, Casualties is just really, really good. There's no way I'm not playing that. But for the most part, I did not feel like I needed other ways to really overwhelm my opponent with a giant creature or something like that. This is just good enough as a win condition, and that already puts it way up there, because any commander that does not inherently kill your opponent and needs your deck to assist it is just in a class below this, right? When there's plenty of commanders like that. Some of them are still really good, like Keenan, or I guess it's pronounced Kinnan, but I'm always going to say Keenan. Oswald needs other cards, or it has no text, but those are considered really strong, so that's not always the case, but for the most part, there's a threshold that must be broken, and this breaks that threshold of not needing, excuse me, this breaks that threshold of not needing other cards, and that's pretty cool. I mean, to do its thing, that, I mean, it's just, like, function. It obviously gets better with other cards, right? It really likes you to do things with the rest of the text box, other than the ward. But, you know, it's just a good starting point to not feel bad if you just cast this and pass a turn. It's like, oh, well, you know, cast it, tap out, pass it, and if it dies, I'm screwed, or whatever. Like, because it has no enter the battlefield effect, and it has no value if they immediately kill it. But this does, and that's really nice. Force of Vigor was completely insane. I had it quite a few times, actually. I think there was one time I just hard cast it as well. There was one time I cast it without targeting creatures, and it was excellent there as well. I really did like that. Urgent Necropsy? 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 Necropsy. I have something else to call this, but I'm not going to say it. This was really good. It's like Decimate in red-green, if you remember that card, Decimate. It's like that. I really like this card. It's a really cool card. It's also an instant for some reason, which I'm now noticing. I didn't know this was an instant. Yeah, it's just a really solid Decimate that doesn't have to have every target to still cast. And it hits Planeswalkers. It's a Planeswalker instead of a land. Yeah, which I think at this point makes sense. Wizards doesn't like their land destruction nearly as much as they used to, so... I'm not sure if I had enough creatures for Village Rites. This could just be... Actually, maybe change that. Well, I don't know. There's the other one, Gift of whatever. Oh, I thought this was called Gift of Plunder. Okay, I'm an idiot. This sacrifices artifacts as well as creatures, so this might just be better than Village Rites. I know it costs twice as much, but... I don't know. Like, maybe it's the same amount of things this sacrifices, right? Like, I don't really have many, if at all, really any artifacts, yes, so... I guess they're actually kind of the same, so maybe never mind. It just kind of felt a little bad. Same with Diabolic Intent. Diabolic Intent, Deadly Dispute, and Village Rites, thus by extension Costly Plunder, probably are not the right go. It's just not the right go. I have 20 creatures. I don't think that's enough. So, yeah, alright. I think I could drop those cards. I just don't feel like these were that great. Honestly, more removal would have just been fine if I just had more removal and never really upset with that. Also, a little bit more card draw would have been nice. Davriel is irritating. Sometimes it's amazing, and other times it's terrible, and it's just so irritating when it's terrible, especially like 3 games in a row. I've gotten extremely unlucky with Davriel for a while lately, but I had some decent hits today, so that was nice. But usually, you know, you expect kind of like 50-50 if it's good or not. I've just... Lately, it's not been great, but I don't know, that probably doesn't mean much. Yeah, you could probably run Necropotence in the other ones. You do have ways to gain a lot of life because you have an above average amount of food in your deck, so it's not too unreasonable to run Necropotence and Necrodominance and stuff like that, right? Especially with Dark Ritual, casting them on turn 1 is just very devastating for a lot of decks. Never really upset with that. I'm also not upset with more 3-mana ramp spells. Going 1 into 3 is very good. I don't have a lot of fetch lands. I could run slightly more that get basic lands tapped. I really don't think you should do that, but if you really wanted Deathrite Shaman to have lands, you could do that. I think the one time I cast this, I got a land off of my opponent's side. Or excuse me, the one time it tapped for mana. So Deathrite Shaman, I talked about it before. It's either good or it isn't. And so far, I don't know if it is quite there. Don't know if it's quite there. But it is very close to being there. I'm sure there's better options, though. But all in all, I can recommend this commander. I really liked it. It was fun to play. I like doing random food things that sometimes don't matter anyways, because all you're doing is killing your opponent with a large creature, and the food part was irrelevant. But it's still cool to run those cards, and Karn was really good. So, that was kind of nice. It was like turning off my opponent's creatures is just like this added bonus. It's just pretty cool. I like this card. Karn is just solid. So, let me know what you thought about this commander. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.